just can't forgive myself. I'm in love with you. I just can't forgive myself. I'm in love.
Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean. Hello everyone. Let me see why my face is not going into the screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, that is not what I want to use. Okay. All right. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live trading NFP session. If you can hear me, see me, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are ready to rock and roll. Good morning, English. Good morning, Martin, Tony, Ali. Yes, let's try to get funded. Good morning, everyone. We're going to keep it tight because we've only got 15 minutes until the U.S. jobs report, and we have so much to talk about. For those of you that are just joining us, typically I give you the rundown. I get you prepared for the potential outcome, the potential trades, the potential impact on the markets. Then we look at FX setups to see if we have anything. Then Boris rolls into trading gold and Nasdaq. Now, Boris, if you need to set up any trades in advance to get these guys funded, let me know. Feel free to chime in. He's in the waiting room here.
Hi guys, so I'm not gonna trade straddles today with you guys. I'm gonna try and actually trade direction post event because we've gotten ourselves, the straddle trade has worked really, really well. I've got myself funded with about, I think, 14 accounts at this point, and I want to just kind of focus on trading directionality. But what I will do is 5 minutes beforehand, or maybe 5 minutes beforehand, I will walk you through the exact structure of how you want to do a straddle. So if you guys want to do a straddle and try to get funded in one single trade, be my guest. So I will.
Fantastic. So we'll have to roll quickly then, since that's what he plans to do in about 10 minutes. Just so you know, Boris live trades every single day. So it's not about just the NFP session. It's about the opportunities that you have every single day. So as he said, he's gotten funded 14, 15 accounts recently. And, we do this every day. So today it's, fun to trade NFPs, but it's not an everyday thing. It's only once a month. Now, today, we don't just have NFPs. Type in the chat, what else is going on today? You should know. We've got four things that are going on today that's worth watching. The first one is obviously the non-farm payrolls report. Give me number 2, 3, and 4 that's happening. One of them is happening right at the same time, 8:30 New York. Yes. Good job, Glad. Supreme Court decision on the tariffs, whether they are valid or not. Now, the headline will probably move markets. If it is decided that the Supreme Court tariffs are not valid, that's probably going to be good for stocks. If it decides the Supreme Court Trump's tariffs are valid, that will probably be negative for stocks. But regardless of how it shakes out, I'm sure you and I are all aware of the very likelihood that none of this is going to be truly binding. That'll be taken back to court, put to another court, and then we'll still be in wait and see mode on this. But the headline, which we don't know what time it will be released, could be at any point in time today, will still be important.
Can I just chime in on the tariffs? I just have a very, very quick.
Make it quick.
Sorry, I just have a very quick point to make. Sorry. Here's a story with tariffs that I read. There's the most rational take on it. Supreme Court probably will rule them unconstitutional, but will let the current tariffs stand, because otherwise Trump would have to pay back $600 billion, and that would be very, very disruptive to the economy. That seems to be a relatively reasonable Solomonic compromise of how things go.
How does that work? How does it be voted unconstitutional and still stay?
Because they could say that, going forward, this type of action is no longer allowed by the executive, but everything past stands. They could make that ruling.
Okay, so Martin, housing starts, building permits are not going to matter at all. It's going to be the Supreme Court decision. It's going to be the Canadian employment rate that's coming out at the same time. It's going to be the UMich index that's coming out afterwards. But what will be important, and the reason why we only really trade non-farm payrolls reactively, is because the NFP report has 3 components that we have to watch. Number one is, well, actually 4. Number one is going to be, and I'm going to share my screen so we can start annotating on the screen. Give me 1 second to, let's get our annotations going on the screen. Kathy, where's my share screen? Share my screen. All right, let's get our annotations going. So, what to watch with NFP? We've got, number one, the NFP number. Number 2, the unemployment rate. Number 3, average hourly earnings. And number 4, revisions. So, and then of course, we've got the CAD jobs data. So these are the things to watch right at 8:30 a.m. New York time. With NFPs, it's always important to understand, what is the market expecting? The market is expecting or looking for NFPs to pretty much be around the same amount as the previous month. So no real change. But of course, you and I know, and if you've been trading for a while, you know that it rarely is just this number. It is oftentimes going to be, a surprise to the upside, surprise to the downside, and that's where an opportunity will be. The unemployment rate, the market expects a drop from 4.6 to 4.5%. And then average hourly earnings expected to grow from 0.1 to 0.3. So overall, the market thinks it's going to be a stronger number because I think the NFP report is going to be unchanged. Average hourly earnings, unemployment rate is going to be better. That is why the US dollar is trading higher across the board this morning. It's up quite a bit against the yen. It's up against the euro, CAD, Swiss franc, up against everything that we have. So why? I mean, first off, the market thinks that, and we'll go through the leading indicators quickly in just a minute. The leading indicators for non-farm payrolls aren't terrible. They actually, some of them give us, but they kind of mix. But at the end of the day, the question really is, what does all of this matter for the Fed Fund futures? CME Fed Fund futures. So CME Fed Fund futures, we have the meeting at the end of the month. The market is pricing in an 88% chance that rates are going to remain unchanged. Now, NFPs could change this around quite a bit, but right now the market expects no change. So the question will be, Will today's number, if it's in line with expectations and these things increase, will it be enough to push the Fed to cut? And I think it's a very high bar. I think it's a very high bar. We're going to see this number maybe be in the teens to really think might have the market thinking that the odds will increase. We need the average hourly earnings growth maybe to 0.02. Maybe that may not be good enough. We need unemployment rate to hold steady. So the bar is high, very high for the market to think that the Fed is going to cut in January. And that's going to be really the main line connection that we're going to be making. Sorry. And that's really going to decide whether or not we actually get any movement. And of course, the revisions. If we have a big revision, this goes from 64 to 125, that's going to be really good. If it goes from 64 to minus 10 or even 10, that's going to be bad. Powell has said that he thinks, the NFP report is completely overstated by 40 or 60,000. And so these numbers could be revised lower. So now let's talk about quickly about the leading indicators. So every single month for NFPs, we look at the leading indicators for non-farm payrolls, many of which were released this week. So these are just the reports. We know that, first off, Challenger reported a huge drop in layoffs. So it's dollar positive. Good for the NFP report. Jobless claims, also good. So that's, a reason why NFPs could beat. ISM services, service component was good. ADP was weaker, but better than the previous month. So far, everything here signals a stronger NFP. But we do have lower job openings, and we have weaker manufacturing activity. The UMich consumer confidence was a little lower. And then also the Conference Board's consumer confidence index dropped for the 5th straight month. So Americans are feeling more pessimistic, even though stocks have been at record highs. And that could be tied to the job market. So it's a bit of a tough call, but usually ISM services is the most important leading indicator for non-farm payrolls. So how are we going to trade this? Well, we are going to be, if we get a good number, and remember, we have CAD jobs too. If we get a good US number, we're going to be looking to sell euro dollar and buy, maybe dollar Swiss, dollar yen. Dollar Swiss is less overbought than dollar yen. If we get a bearish number, then we're going to be all over the plus euro dollar trade, minus dollar yen trade. Now, if we get a good US number and a good CAD number, that means that we're going to trade CAD yen. And if we get a weak US number and a weak CAD number, then that's going to be a short CAD yen trade. So this is the game plan. I'm going to set up my screens while Boris lays you out on the straddle. Here's your 5 minutes to lay them out on the straddle trade, Boris.
All right, awesome. Hi, guys. All right, let me take you to my screen, and we will annotate on my screen as well. So I'm just simply going to actually lay out.
So gold on the left, Nasdaq on the right.
Right, gold on the left. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to always use 4 minis. So that's 4 GC on the February contract, right? 4 contracts, no stop. Okay. Oops, no stop. And we're going to target 77 ticks per contract. Okay, so 77 ticks. That's going to give us enough for 3,000. This is on a $50,000 account. I'm sorry, I'm using a $50,000. I'm assuming you're using $50,000 account. Price accordingly to if you're using something else, but it's 50,000 is the standard account that we like to trade on. So no stop, 77 ticks, 4 contracts on GC. Same idea. Let's go over here. I'm going to go over here on NQ. NQ is also 4 contracts. Again, this is the minis. And the no stop again. And here we're going to use ticks, 156 ticks. I think that's a little bit actually too much, but I'd rather be too much than too little. And that will give you if the trade pops really, really hard one way or the other. So remember, we're going to do one contract to buy, one account to buy, and one to sell. That is the straddle. So one account to buy the position, one account to sell. In gold, one account to buy, one account to sell. Today, Apex back to 80% discount. So go ahead, load up. It doesn't matter. You blow these accounts, they're going to be like 30, 40 bucks to buy back. It'll be nothing. The most important thing is you want to just be on both sides of the market, so that if one side skyrockets, you get funded, the other one just gets burnt. That's the play. That's the new straddle. I'm leaving this on the chart here. We got about 2.5 minutes. Kate, feel free to chime in, or if you want to take over the screen, be my guest. We're going to trade afterwards, of course, once the news comes out.
Okay, so if we have a good NFP report, or a decent one, doesn't have to be a blockbuster, that's going to be good for Nasdaq and bad for gold. If we have a weak NFP report, and this is talking about really weak, and this is not just kind of weak, then it's going to be good for gold and bad for the Nasdaq. But the Nasdaq will have a complicated reaction. Gold in many ways and Forex will have a purer reaction. And the reason for that is because, the market may start to think, the number is bad. And so it kind of reinforces, the need for more rate cuts. We'll have to see. And that's why with NFPs, unlike inflation and things like that, it tends to be more of a complicated reaction. Whereas in gold and in Forex, it tends to be a purer reaction. So Boris has these over here right now. We're about 2 minutes away from the release. So I'm going to grab my screen back. We're just going to holler out the trades.
I will monitor the.
And as usual, we will certainly see it in the price action before we see it in the data. So if, Boris, you don't mind hollering it out, because we're just going to be watching our screens.
Prepare everybody. Consensus is 4.6 against 5 on the unemployment rate. Average hourly earnings 3.5 against 3.6. That's what the market is looking for. And non-farm payrolls, the market is looking at 64K. Previous was 64K. Consensus is 60K today's.
And we have the Canadian and the U.S. jobs report coming out at the same time. Usually the dollar move is more important.
Yeah, on Canada, the consensus is negative 5K for Canada.
Yeah. And the IV was quite weak, so the market is prepared for a lower number. All right, here we go. 5 seconds to the number release about. All right, let's see.
I don't have the data just yet. 3.7 on average hourly earnings for Canada.
Okay, looks like the number's good. So the number's good. We're going to sell euro dollars 116. 35, but let's see. I'm not sure. Let's give it 1 second to digest.
The unemployment rate is 4.4 against 4.5, 50K on payrolls against 56, average hourly 3 against 2, so better income
dollar
number.
Yen 157.72. That's what I like the most. Keep going with the numbers. Average hourly earnings unchanged, unemployment rate huge improvement, NFP number 50K.
And average hourly earnings month over month is 3 against 2. That's pretty good. 3.8 on a 3.5 on a year to year. That's all really, really good. It's positive wage data. It's, I have been arguing U.S. economy is stronger than people think, and I think this is starting to prove itself.
What's the CAD data?
CAD data, 50K on employment
Up
change.
Or down?
Very positive, huge positive. But part-time is down 42. Sorry, full-time is up 50 against negative 9.4. Part-time negative 42 against 60. Canada also surprises to the upside big time.
A huge CAD surprise to the upside. It seems like the market, the best way to trade really is to do the 15-minute straddle. I'm going to show you my chart. Is if we're patient, the best way to trade would be to take the 15-minute candle and do, take the range, remove one indicator, and we are going to do the horizontal line.
Hey, Yeah. I see we got a couple of people funded. So, guys, whoever got funded, please post what instrument you got funded in. I'm totally interested and curious. I'll post that in the comments.
All right. So it looks like, the dollar isn't really getting the momentum that it deserves with the number. So we're going to be looking at our news trades to see if we get a break to the upside or to the downside. Looks like euro dollar wants to break the news candle. So we'll have to see.
Cool.
And then so right now, euro dollar, here's the pure trade, 116.46. Let's see if we get any continuation on the upside.
I'm really shocked, guys. Gold, I'm trying to make sense of this. Gold is just
20 stop,
popping.
20 target in euro dollar, long at 116.46.
I'm trying to understand. Gold is at 4,500 almost. Just we had a $30 move in the last minute, and I'm trying to make sense out of it because this is a positive number, which means rate cuts are not
Dollar
coming.
yen also moving lower. I'm going to put the euro dollar up here, 15-minute chart, move away zip. So dollar yen looks like it just looks like everything was really overbought. And you sell this breakout candle on the 5-minute. Of course, we want to wait for the close. That would be the best on the 5-minute candle, but definitely looks like the momentum is moving to the downside.
Why are they selling the dollar? Am I wrong? I'm trying to understand. Isn't this dollar positive, the data?
All right. So with the data, let's the thing is that the expectations and sentiment play a very, very big role in how the market trades. And you're right, the absolute number is worse, and the unemployment rate and the average hourly earnings is good. But I think, the move is just the market's so overbought dollars that maybe there's just a bit of correction. And, we'll have to see which way actually lasts.
I feel so Nasdaq, sold off the highs, but kind of now inching towards highs. I feel this is very bullish stocks. I think we're gonna.
Yes.
I think Nasdaq is going to be a strong buy today. We're obviously going to try to position for that. But I'm befuddled by gold. But what gold is doing, we just follow price action. It's at literally 494, really soaring. Who got funded in what? Come on, guys, post up there. I want to know what you guys funded in. Dr. D, what'd you use? NQs or GCs? Because there was a lot of volatility both ways. In other words, it dropped and then popped. So I want to know what got done, what did not get done on those trades. Brooklyn says he passed 2 more. Come on, give me the don't give me the generalities. Give me specifics. Would you pass it on? Brooklyn says he did it on S&P. Brooklyn, give us the details. How many points did you use on the S&P? What size did you use? What worked for you? So we can share this with everybody. So next time they can also be able to apply this.
All right. So it seems like they all did Nasdaq too.
Yeah, everybody. Nasdaq is really the money trade. Nasdaq, by the way, 25,800 hitting session highs as we're trading. How's FX doing, Kay?
Well, we're seeing the dollar pull back. And so, we'll see if, we get further movement here.
Okay.
These are the setups that I like. If you want to say plus 10 in euro dollar, you could, but I think it's going to go up to this at least 116.70. But I do like
a strong candle in euro dollar. Really?
Euro dollar, I mean, that is why, it was a throwaway comment, but when sentiment plays a very important role. And if you look at the sentiment, euro dollar has fallen quite a bit. It's quite oversold. And you can see in our short-term meters, BK trend meters, 5-minute, 15-minute is turning bullish. And so actually it's positive for the euro dollar. And then you can see on a BK trend meters, the dollar yen, while the overall trend looks like it's up and the candle looks positive on the short-term basis, our meters are turning negative, which tells us that, we could have a deeper correction.
That's really, really cool. Very, very cool. By the way, everybody who signs up for Think, our friends at Think gets those BK trend meters. So go ahead, go buy those.
Yes.
Think
And that's why these trend meters are so valuable, because if you have them in your chart, you can see them in real time and that they are starting to move. You get this with, if you click on the QR codes, I don't know where the QR codes went, Boris, but
yeah, no, well, the QR codes are
just go to thinkcapital.com, use code BKSAVE, and you get 25% off, and you get these BK trend meters for free. Same thing with actually Hola Prime. If you like Hola Prime, you use the code EDGE and you get, or BK Save. I think EDGE is really the code. Or Tradeify, whoever you want to trade with, Tradeify, top one. Use our EDGE code or BK Save code, and you will get the trend meters for free with your purchase.
Yeah, we're gonna get to my charts in a bit. English. I'm not trading anyway for now, so relax. Don't worry.
So just keep watching the BK trend meters. Let's see if the 200. I don't think it's going to turn negative on the 200. But it's
what's really cool. You know what's really cool about this, Kate, is that I'm just watching you do this live, because obviously we're scalping using my BFF dots, but for those of you who are trading CFDs and Forex with Kathy, like the BK trend meters are really, really good in this news reaction trades, because they give you this instant read of what's going on the short-term basis, and you could quickly change to sentiment, post event. Basically it's a sentiment reader in its purest form. So it's really, really cool. I'm really enjoying watching Kate trade using these signals, and I hope you guys will enjoy it more.
And you can use this on anything. You can use this on Nasdaq. You can use it on gold. We can see what gold is doing right now. Gold absolutely is green on the screen. I mean, it's except for the 4 hour, which really doesn't matter that much because it's so far away. You want to look at the 5 minute, 15 minute for short-term trading, but these are moving upwards. So it still says gold is quite bullish. Nasdaq, also, still quite bullish. So overall, the short-term meters are still with the trade. Sometimes it takes a while for the movements because at the end of the day, the numbers were not huge surprises in one way or the other. We had 50K, which the market expected a little bit weaker, but the other parts were really good. So the biggest takeaway is that the Fed is going to be able to keep interest rates on hold, still maintain its dovish bias if it wants. And so, we move on to SCOTUS. See what happens there. And that's it.
Usually I'm the one trading, so this is really fun for me to watch Kate do her thing and kind of,
Well, unfortunately, we're not getting a huge amount of movement this morning.
No. Yeah, I think you clipped out like 10 out of euro, right? I mean, you're definitely
and dollar yen is kind of flat. I mean, right now the trade really is these level breaks. For the rest of the day, what I would do is I would watch these level breaks and of this candle, this 5 minute candle. If we break, I put a limit order to buy dollar yen there.
What level is that?
Hold on, let me just draw the lines first. It's I just need to change the color. Hold on. It's 157.84 for dollar yen. And I think dollar yen, once it breaks the down, dollar yen's gonna have a bigger move to the downside. Euro dollar is going to have a bigger move to the upside. Just given how overbought dollar yen is and how oversold euro dollar is, the bigger move to the upside, we get an upside breakout, and is going to be in the euro dollar. It's going to be euro dollar, and then dollar yen is going to be more on the downside. So it's getting close. We're not far from there. Yeah. And we can watch, but we're kind of positioned for it ready. But at the end of the day, the best way to trade news is to wait for the 5 minute candle break. And it takes a little patience, and sometimes it may never break, but when it does, it should be quite powerful. Unfortunately, go ahead.
SCOTUS is scheduled. That doesn't mean it's going to be around 10 a.m. So anytime after 10 a.m., that's when we should be on the lookout. But we'll see when they're going to render a decision. We don't know.
We have SMA and EMA meters. I prefer the SMA, but you can also, included if you use our code to for your
Yeah, you're gonna get both.
purposes.
I will enable both for you EMA and SMA versions. And by the way, these meters are completely configurable. You want to do a
Yeah, I'm
1
going
minute
to
chart
show
on that?
them.
You want to do a 1 minute chart, like you want to do a 1 minute heat map, it will give you a 1 minute. Like you
Here
could
it
go
is.
crazy, go 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute, hour. If
So
you just
this
want
is the BK trend meter and EMA meter. And if you click here, you can get inputs. You can change whatever EMAs you want, whatever minutes you want. So Boris loves to trade the 2-minute chart. So you could change this to
no
2 minutes.
longer. That's already yesterday's news, Kay. You're already behind our. No, just kidding. We actually moved to the 1 minute chart. But
Well,
yeah, but
regardless, you can change it to whatever you want, and you can change it to 1 minute, and then you'll get 1 minute here, 821.50. These are the EMAs that I like, and you can see your dollar yen turning very quickly negative on the 1 minute chart. I think it's a little schizophrenic, which is why I don't. You're going to see these things move very crazily. That's why we don't have the 1 minute indicator. But having it on does help to get a better look of where things are really moving at on a short-term basis. So we're still short dollar yen, still long euro dollar. This is a great time for me to just tell you guys we're doing a really amazing event called Prop Trader Fest at the end of January 24th, completely free. Every single one of you should be registering for this event. Completely free, January 24th. Register for Prop Trader Fest. We've got 22 speakers now. These are the biggest names in prop trading and in trading in general. Peter Tuchman, Einstein on Wall Street. He's been on the New York Stock Exchange floor for 40 years. David Green, he's the mentor of mentors. He mentored Big Daddy Max, a number of other people, and he was a former market maker who retired, at 30. Big Daddy Max, the goat of ORB, he's going to talk about how he uses ORB every day. Candace is the most successful Asia session prop trader in Asia. She withdrew $1.17 million in October in payouts from Apex Trader Funding. She's going to talk about how she does it. She's super private. Each of these segments are 30 minutes long, so we're going to keep them tight. We're going to keep them short and roll from one to the other. Zamco, $1 million payout. We have a lot of $1 million payout traders telling their story. Allison is an anchor with ABC. She's going to be moderating. You all know Austin Silver, Trader Nick. At least I hope you do. They're very, very. Austin's going to talk about VWAP. He, uses VWAP to trade futures every day. Tyler, over 500,000 in payouts. If you are a mom trading at home and you're trying to figure out how to create extra income for your family, Jen, Krista, Rebecca are the queens of doing it. And she's going to tell you how they do it. Daniel, $1 million in funded capital. Daniel, prop firm kid, 500,000 payouts. Abraham, 500,000 payouts. These are real traders with real payouts, and they're going to tell you how they did it. So this is completely free. Every single one of you need to be registering for this. The entire agenda is over here. You can look through it yourself. It doesn't cost you any money at all. So make sure you register, make sure you put it on your calendar. This is one time only, and it's going to be the biggest online prop trading event ever. So make sure you join us for that. So
and he's not even on the page because he's a kind of sort of a late addition, but our very own Walter, who just pulled out $40,000 using my BFF.
Walter is on the page.
Walter's on the page. Okay,
Walter's on the page.
Oh, we added Walter. We added Walter on the page. Awesome. So he's going to.
How much
talk about
did he pull out?
He pulled out $40,000 in the last 2 weeks out of Apex. Used trading the exact same situation that we trade every single day, strategy every day. So
okay, here we go, my friends. Breaking to the downside. We were already short. I mean,
look at that. Looky. Kay hitting her targets.
20 is our target, but you don't know what you're going to get. I'm just getting out of here at 40, but
I love watching her bank profits. This is so much more fun than me trading. I love having somebody else drive the wheel for a change. So good. This is really, really good. Very, very. I'm really kind of just super impressed at how good the trend meters were in conjunction with the fund and the price flow and the sentiment analysis to kind of hit the targets. As I said, we make these tools to give you every possible edge you can have. So please go ahead, take advantage of it.
Yeah, we're also going to be giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of prop challenges at the event. So that's going to be huge as well. Now, you have a question about whether this is recorded or not. So in addition to providing you with really good content, this is also it's also for a good cause. We're raising money for Hope for Warriors and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So when you register, you can register here, just put in your name, tell us where you live, have you traded prop traded before? You don't have to fill these out, but it's good for us to know, what do you trade? Once you sign up, it's going to tell you, please don't email me at my personal email. But so let's say, you know, Kathy trades Forex. I'm going to click sign me up. You're going to see that it's going to say, if you want access to the videos, donate. You can help us with this good cause. Donate $10. 100% of the money that you donate is going to go to Hope for Warriors and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So yes, you can get the video recordings with the donation, which you're doing this for a good cause. 100% will be going to children's charity and, you know, vets.
We already have thousands of dollars raised. So please, you know, it's nothing. I mean, it's $10. I can't even buy a bacon, egg, and cheese in New York for $10. So go ahead.
We try to make it a low amount, an approach amount. None of it goes to us. All of it goes to the charity. And so yes, this is the way you would get the videos. But
the one thing that people have been emailing me, they're like, "Where's my videos?" You guys understand. The videos will be ready after the event, okay? Just to make it very clear. These videos are of the event. We're going to cut them beautifully. They're going to be nicely, beautifully put together in a single course, effectively course for you guys, and you'll be able to really watch everything at leisure at any time you want. We'll give you access to, you know, to that whole web page and everything else. So yes, we're gonna do a really, really good job for you in all of this. Just give us time, obviously, after the Profest to do it, but really, really worth it. You know, it's worth it. It's for a great cause. I mean, you know, vets and kids with cancer. Come on, you got to be a good
cause
human being.
Close to our heart.
Right.
But 22 speakers. And, you know, this is single-handedly the biggest online prop trading event ever. So make sure you register. You're going to learn a lot, not just from us. We're actually not going to be talking. It's going to be all these people who are going to share their advice because you hear from us every day. And so you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah, it's so cool because we kind of segregated it into not just people talking, but into strategies. So these people are going to be talking their strategies. So there's going to be all this really valuable information on ORB, all this really valuable information on VF. These guys charge hundreds of tens of thousands of dollars for the information they're probably going to give away for free at the Profest. So really
Big Daddy Max is going to talk ORB. Candace, she used ICT, earned $1 million in 32 days.
I think just trading fair value gaps, right? I mean, just stuff that you guys hear about all the time. They're going to tell you exactly how they did it.
VWAP with Austin Silver, trend trading with Zamco. He went from 80,000 losses to 1 million payouts in 2 years, not 32 days like Candace, but he'll share his strategy and how he does it. Fair value gap with Tyler. Gold trading with the prop firm kid. He's had more than 200 payouts, including most recently a month that he made $100,000 in payouts. And then, you know, Abraham, 500,000 payouts. James, couple $100,000 he's made already. Randy, these are real people doing it in real life.
And here's what I was going to say. I'm sure everybody who's listening right now has friends that trade. Give them that URL, please. Give them a URL because your friends can also get access. Obviously, I want as many people as possible on the internet to be able to be exposed to this. It's a free event. It's really, it was my idea, but Kathy took over. It's really been her labor of love. And it's turned into the most amazing thing because we obviously convinced a whole bunch of really key people to come in and participate completely for free, all for a really good cause. So
I mean, Big Daddy Max, he's got an event at the end, in-person event at the end of December. And he's charging, I'll show you, max options. He's charging trading. Let's see. Max options trade. He's amazing, by the way, and such a great guy. But he has a live event in Florida, which we're going to be going to. And these tickets are 15,000, 10,000, 5,000. You're going to hear from him. Of course, you get like party with him and everything, but which you're not going to get here. He's not going to be partying with you, but you know, it's an online party, 100% free at Prop Trader Fest. So join us. You're going to hear from him. All right, these guys want to get to trading. Boris, any questions? So, you know, these levels matter. I pulled this up. We did not close below it, but we took
Guys,
our profit in our initial trade.
I'll be, give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay. Give me just 1 second.
Okay. So, you know, we took profits down here. Now, as I said, you're waiting for the close below the line that we drew. Now we got to get the line bumped down a little bit. I would move, but the Eurodollar line hasn't. So keep watching it. It's still very much a trade of the day. If we look at MNQ, let's see where we are. MNQ already broke. Well, it hasn't already, but, you know, green on the screen. If we break that, it's going to really power higher. Gold, Boris is going to be setting you up.
Yeah. I actually just took a trade in gold. I'll show you everything.
Okay, so let's fire away. And see what we get here, Boris.
All right, awesome. All right, let me do this. Here we go. Add to the remove.
The URL, Armand, is simply proptraderfest.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna let me put that into the link here.
I just did that in the
section. Okay. All right. Super. All right.
All right, Boris,
go ahead and you know, send that URL to every friend you know. Post it on your social media. We really appreciate it. If you like what we do, and we do all this stuff for you guys, we give you tools, give you everything. We try to be as good about education as possible. The only thing I ask is that you spread the word for us. So please post it on any of your channels. Give it away. It's an amazing event. I want thousands of people in here, and we have
the only way these powerhouse speakers are going to agree to do it with us again is if it's successful. So we rely on you to help us make it successful. Attend the event, tell your friends. That's the way you can thank us, because we want to give you this content, and we can't convince. Right now, we're convincing these 22 traders on our reputation, but they're not going to come back and do this again and again with us unless it's successful and they see good.
We really want to make it a thing because we think, you know, we're obviously huge fans of prop trading, and we think this industry is here to stay, and you know, we want to be able to host these events over the next several years. So please help us out.
Yes. So proptraderfest.com. And like I said, we can only get these guys back if it's successful. Help us make it successful. Tell your community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. He's saying Cribs is posting to his group of traders. If you guys have a group of traders or anybody else, absolutely post this. We'll love it. Into your Discords. Post it in any Discords that, you know, where you're allowed to post. Again, it's totally free. So there's just absolutely no obligation on anybody. We're not asking for anything. We just want you to attend and enjoy the education.
Yeah, so we can do it again and again, you know, and I want to have more speakers come in, bigger names, Tori, Jade. They're not, you know, they're not ready to jump in yet, but if we make it successful, they will.
Exactly. All right, thank you guys. This is really, really awesome. Okay, so thank you, Kay. So much fun. This was like the most fun I've had watching Kay trade, because, you know, usually I'm always driving the machine, and it's just great to watch her drive the machine for a little bit. So a lot of fun. We're going to dive into my trading. A couple of notes, and also obviously we're going to be back on Monday. Don't forget, Monday is you know, start of the week. So everybody come join us on Monday. Don't forget that I trade every single day, 9 o'clock in the morning, sometimes even 8 if we do little marathons. Let me just put if you ever want to know where I'm trading, I just put the link into our channel. This is the schedule of my live streams. If you pop on there, it will always come up as the latest live stream. And of course, if you're watching us and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe. It's ridiculous for you not to subscribe. There's just an enormous amount of really great information, great content coming out. And this is the way you'll always know for sure that I'm going live, because I do nothing but but live trading the whole time. All right, you know what? Give me just 1 sec. I know everybody wants the QR codes for all the prop firms, so you guys can get the free indicators and everything else. Let me change my layouts. I gotta go. Oh, here it is. This is my layout, and then I want to go to media assets. There's my QR codes. There's my QR code. Okay, here's my QR codes. I'm now on top of the screen. Just simply put your phone to the screen if you want the discounts for Think, if you want the discounts for Apex, and of course, if you want the Prop Fest, if you want to register for Prop Fest. So these are all QR codes right up there. Go nuts, go crazy, have a good time. All right, wonderful. All right, so I got some good news. I got some bad news. The bad news is, for those of you guys who were with me in coaching yesterday, I forgot to hit the record button, so there's no recording, and I'm really, really sorry. But I will make it up to you today, or make it up to you this weekend. I'm gonna record like a short version of everything that I talked about, the key things we talked about, and then I'll put it out to everybody who wants coaching. Now, if you want to join my coaching, here's the link. The cool thing about coaching is that not only do you get my coaching, not only do you get Kathy's access to Kathy's signals for like 3 months, not only do you get, of course, all the indicators without which you can't really trade, but I'm going to buy you free prop accounts. I'm going to give you money so you can go out there, buy Think, or you can go buy Apex or buy Hola. And so you don't even have to start a prop account. Coaching comes essentially with a free prop account embedded in it. So it should be really, really good for you guys. So that's the coaching link. Go get crazy. You sign up, you're good to go. You get all of my stuff right away. I just answered it. Okay, I don't know what is this. Have you posted past the prop recording? Yeah. I'm sorry, I screwed up. Because it was an internal webinar. For some reason, I forgot to hit record. But I will give you a summary of it. And we do this every day, so not a big deal. All right, so lots of really good stuff that's going on here. I'm going to kind of discuss with you what we talked a little bit about in coaching yesterday, especially vis-a-vis gold, which is so freaking interesting because this strategy is just money for gold. And it's so counterintuitive. So absolutely the opposite of what you think, you should be doing, yet it works beautifully. I'm going to share it with you. And then I actually had a sort of even a further refinement of the strategy that really, really works. But before we actually talk about this, let me come back because a lot of people got funded. And I want to share with you how people got funded so you guys can have the formula. Hang on a second. Because Brooklyn posted this. There's so many. There was so many. Okay, so here's Brooklyn. Okay, so Brooklyn. Here's what he did. Okay, Brooklyn traded S&P, ES, something we don't trade, not because we can't, but we just there's a limited amount of attention span. I can only trade 2 things at a time. Oh, look at Nasdaq is popping through the highs. So Brooklyn traded S&P really large, 10. He traded 10. There's like zero margin for error there, right? And he traded, he said, with 26 ticks, 20 seconds before the open. So he got funded on that. That's an interesting formula. That takes him to 3250, well above 3,000. Good for him. He really hit that hard. DRD, doctor, the good doctor in the house, who's been funding accounts using the strategy forever, it's traded my usual stuff, 4 NQs with 155 ticks. That funded him nice and clean. And you can see on Nasdaq. Wait, where's my? On Nasdaq, you can see the spike right over here. That was the spike that did it. You only need like 40 points. It's 746 to, let's say you came in around, I don't know, 740, and it went up to 87. You just need 38 points. That Nasdaq is really the best because it's almost always going to react 40 points up or 40 points down, which is all you really need to get funded on a 4 lot. And I'm sure that got funded, which is really, really good. So those were the key strats that people used for getting funded. In case you guys are interested for next time, there'll be lots of stuff this whole month for us to trade. There'll be the Fed. There'll be lots of stuff that we can do, that we can trade. Okay, so that answers that. It's Ask Me Anything Friday, so go ahead and post up questions if you guys want questions answered. I'm happy to answer anything on your mind. But in the meantime, and we're not going to trade for a little bit. We're going to wait till the market opens right now before we put on any trades. Although it's really fucking tempting to just buy these highs in Nasdaq. Where's my only problem is I'm on a new. Let's buy this Nasdaq just for shits and giggles. Okay. I may have bought the top here. What did I buy? Ooh, yeah, I bought 18. I should have waited. Oh no, I'm sorry. I should have bought here. This was really stupid. All right, never mind. Never mind. Let me show you the trades. Hold on, I gotta log in here. Where's this one? Where am I in? Why is oh, hold on just 1 second. No. What is this? I'm trying to figure out why I can't log into TradeAvate. Where am I logged in on TradeAvate? This is weird. Okay. All right, let me kill this for just 1 second. Oh, maybe on this one? Maybe on this one. Okay. All right, let's try this. Just bear with me a second, guys. I'm just gonna redo my whole charts here. Show you where I'm in. I'm still hanging in this trade, so may not be no. Why can't I get in there? Why is it telling me? What the hell's going on? So annoying. All right, I'm gonna go dark for just 1 second. I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna kill this. Just bear with me a sec, guys. Here. I don't know why this is letting me do this. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh, whoa, so freaking annoying. Okay. First 2/3. Okay, let's try this. Scalper. Hold on. Share screen. Window. This. Share. Okay, I'm trying to log into my TradeAvate. Where's my multiple tabs? Where the fuck are my multiple tabs? Oh, this is so annoying. All right, I'm just gonna have to call out trades with you guys today. You're not gonna be able to see my trades because something, bottom line is I'm in at 18. This thing went to 24, and I could have gotten myself out while I was putzing around. Anyways, doesn't matter. This is a bullshit trade. I'm just gonna get out of this trade. Fuck this trade. Doesn't matter. Let's focus on what I want to show you. Hold on a second. Fuck. Okay. All right. Okay. Here's what I want to show you on the strategy that really, really works so well. I'm going to go to GC counter. Sorry, let me just get rid of all these drawings. Okay. Okay. So this is the money strategy in gold, right? And do you get a strength meter if you become a BK member? You get the strength meter if you join my coaching or if you buy Think Markets prop or Ola Prime prop, right? If you just click one of these props, you send me the fact that you bought it. I'll give you the meters. Okay, so here's what I want to talk to you about gold. And by the way, this actually also works in Nasdaq really well. But let's just look at gold for a second. You know, the basic idea to kind of summarize what we like to do is we trade momentum, right? In simple English, we buy rips, we sell dips, right? It means it's going higher, we like to buy it. It's going lower, we'd like to sell it. That's the absolute simplest definition of momentum. Give me a yes if you understand that. What is my next coaching class? Next coaching is every single Thursday. So it's every single Thursday, 7 p.m. New York time. And everything is recorded, so you can always join me. Okay, you guys are vibing me on this. By the way, I'm gonna buy this. I'm buying gold. Let me tell you where I'm at. I'm gonna have to mark these things. I should have bought it 90.8. I'm looking for 92.8. I'll explain to you why. And I'm done. See that I bought this and I've done. I'm sorry I can't visualize and show you my trades in real time. But whatever the fuck TradeAvate is doing right now, it's not working for me. So we'll switch over to wealth charts in a little bit. We'll be able to trade on there as well. But okay, so the basic idea of what we do is buy rips, sell dips, right? However, as you can see with gold, which is the world's most difficult instrument to trade, what very much often happens is when you buy high, it drops like a stone before it goes higher, right? And very often we get stopped out on retrace before the fucker goes away and hits its targets, away from us, right? And there's nothing more frustrating than being correct on direction but wrong on execution. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? I'll explain why GC. I can only tell you what I'm doing. I'm explaining right now as I'm talking the underlying thesis of what I'm doing. So does everybody? I want to see like at least 10 yeses because I don't want to repeat myself. I want you to pay attention. Buying rips, selling dips in gold exposes you to massive retrace risk, right? That is what happened. Everybody understands that we all fucking feel it, experience it, hate it, and cry about it, okay? So the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing about BFF dots is that this is the Swiss Army knife of trading. Whatever you want to do, this thing can do for you if you know how to configure the tool, right? As I told you, I stayed up literally all night long, Thursday night, pretty much, kind of looking at this stuff because I stumbled across it and I realized, holy shit, this is amazing. And I finally sort of, I think, really, really distilled the basic idea of how to still trade trend, still trade the big trend, but instead of buying the rips, we buy the dips. Instead of buying the rips, we sell the rips if we need to. But generally, honestly, when it comes to gold and even when it comes to NQ, all we're going to do is buy the dips and buy the rips in reversal. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's basically buy until you die type of strategy. So the basic structure and why this works so well is because when gold dips, it's usually a profit-taking sell-off, especially, and this is a key thing, especially when we use our proprietary indicators to catch those dips, right? The way I have it configured over here is I'm actually looking. Let me just show you the BFF. I'm actually looking using the A1 signals to counter trend. I only want to see counter trend signals. This is the completely non-intuitive part of it. I don't want to see trend signals. I don't want to see big breakout signals. I want to see the dips. I want to see the sell signals, because when I see the sell signal, I actually want to come in and buy it. I want to buy the sell signal. And I also want to see the buy breakout in a downtrend. When it's in a downtrend and I have this buy breakout, the neon buy breakout, I want that. That is a turn signal to the upside, right? Because gold is a bullish, it's always buy instrument, right? Yes, there are occasionally times when you can do sells, and we'll talk a little bit about how we can use the sells. Holy shit, look at that. Look at these fucking moves. 5102. What a move, right? Now, could we trade breakouts? Absolutely. Could we buy this and it just soars higher? Absolutely. But doing this, buying the dip, does two things. When we're buying the breakout, we need to have a 1 to 3 negative risk reward ratio because of the retrace risk. It always comes down. It comes down so much a lot of times that we need to absorb a lot of retrace risk before it soars, right? And that puts us in a long run a very negative structure. We got to really win a lot just to stay positive, right? But when we are buying dips, we can reduce our risk exposure to 1 to 2, which is a much, much better profile. More importantly, because it's a naturally positive instrument, when we buy the dip, there's literally, first of all, it's much more accurate, but secondly, there's very little, very little downside action, right? We don't need that much room to go down. So what we can do is we can trade with a 2-4, so 2-point target, 4-point stop, instead of trading with 1-3, right? Because the other thing is when we do a big breakout, we don't know how much further it's going to extend. It may extend a little bit, or it may have already extended all of it. It may have spent all of its energy, and therefore just has a very small extension. So we have to use a very, very small target in order just to capture the highest possibility profit. Here, we can capture twice as much profit for half as much risk with greater accuracy. Like, how fucking cool is that? Beyond belief. Beyond belief at how good it is. And then the final thing that we do, of course, is we only try to trade this against a range expansion mechanism. So my whole point thing is this is imposed on gold only when range is 8 points or higher. So this is a 17-point range. So obviously, basically we're looking for big breakout moves, and then a dip and a big breakout move. We buy the dip, we go boom, we make money. Or we're looking for a big sell-off move, and then we're looking for a reversal and a big sell-off move. Boom, we buy it, we make money. Either way, we make money, and that's what it's all about. And it creates a much, much better continuous accuracy profile than trading just a pure breakout strategy, which of course we can do. But so we don't have as many trades, but they are much more accurate, and they generally much lower risk profile, right? So this is not B signals. This is constructing A signals as kind of a retrace trade. It's not B signals. No, we're not even touching, because the B signals are okay, but the B signals also expose you to big retrace risk or big collapse risk. This exposes you to much less collapse risk than setting up as B. This is a much more sturdier, robust structure, right? And you can see that because I don't have that many signals, but every fucking signal on this chart is a winner. I'm buying the greens, I'm buying the reds. I'm just buying. I'm buying. And every buy is a win, which is what I wanted to kind of share with you as a structure. So that's gold. Right? Now, can you apply the same idea to Nasdaq? Absolutely. Here's the interesting part. You could absolutely apply the same idea to Nasdaq. Let's see where we are. And so this is a good example. I'm a buy, right? So I'm buying here. With Nasdaq, we can use either 10-20 or we can use 20-40, especially when the range gets big. I think when range gets about 50 points, we want to use 20-40. So this is the first, I'm going to be buying 73s. I'm going to give myself 40-point stop, 20-point target. So it's like a 93-point target, right? In Nasdaq. Over here, I probably could have used a 10-20. I buy 91s, right? And it certainly makes 10 points over here in the thing. But if I wanted to use 20-40, I bought 91s, and it goes to 11. Certainly gets me done, right? Totally gets me done. Now, the last insight to all of this. If you get, and these are counter trend signals, right? Because the trend is up. If you get 2 neon reds in an uptrend, that's not a good. That's not a good sign. Like right now, I would be flat out of this trade. I would be flat out of this trade because once you get more than one of these neon reds, it's actually the early signal to the start of a downtrend, to a new trend, right? You actually could use this, to the downside, trade it to the downside. If you want to, matter of fact, let's sell this a little bit. Again, you can't see it. I'm in at 67. I'm going to try and target. Well, I have a big target. I 67 to 47. Let's see if this comes down to 47. I may just move this around to to 57 just to get myself. Wait, what's going on over here? 67. Why did it? For some reason, it's showing me 57. Okay. Anyways, it's going down to 57. I'm gonna take the profits. I'm done on this trade. I'm very, very sorry I can't show you my trades in real time, but you guys are getting the idea. I'll move over to wealth charts where we can actually see those trades, and I'll configure them to you. But I wanted to run the strategy with you guys on the thing. Okay. So so in terms of ticks, Stacy, no. It's not 20, 40 ticks. It's there are 4 ticks to a Nasdaq point. So if I'm doing 20 points, it's 80 points. Oh, I know why I did this. Is because it's 80 points, 160 points, or 40 points, 80 points. 40 ticks, 80 ticks. It's 40, 80, or like on Nasdaq. Let me just put this up here. If I want to do, and you really need to master the ticks, guys, because this is like, if you want to trade futures, you just need to understand. Like, I need to wake you up in the middle of the night. You got to tell me how many ticks are there in a Nasdaq point. Okay, Nasdaq point has 4 ticks, which means that if I want to do 10 points, 20 points, that is a 40 by 80 structure. Sorry, 40 by 80 for 10, 20, 10 points, 20 points, and 80 by 160 if I want to do 20 by 40. Okay, if I want to do kind of a larger trade. Look at this thing. It's and I told you, look. I said double neons tells you that it's a negative trade, right? And you see how I totally unwind. You see how this gives you not only amazingly great counter, basically buy the dip trades, but early warning of new trends. Remember, I used to work with a guy I used to love, Jamie Satel. I don't know if some of you guys know him. He was a guy I used to work with at FXCM. He loved to trade contrarian stuff. And Jamie used to always say that the new trend starts at the counter trend. Like the start of a new trend always starts at the counter trend. Like his whole point was the real trend starts here, like over here. And this thing just shows you the real trend the other way. What are the settings? You're not using any neon. Very important to see the neon. Enable setup comparison coloring. This has got to be checked. It should be off there. Make sure you have the F6. If you have anything less than an F6, delete it and reapply it, and you have the new indicator on here. Okay? Everybody vibing me on all of this? Give me a yes. Give me a no. Give me a maybe. Do your thing. Is that clear? So enable setup comparison coloring. That's what enables neon. I mean, I should probably say enable neon. Sorry, AI wrote this thing. I'm gonna rewrite all of this stuff into human language once we're sort of very, very solid on the code, so that the instructions are super easy for a human being to understand. But Claude is amazing at logic, and logic is much more important than communication when it comes to execution. You're saying no because you're not signed up for anything yet. Okay, well, there's your opportunity, Mura, baby. It's time to sign up. Was there a trade signal in gold right now? Let's put both gold and Nasdaq on in the same tab. Hold on a second. Split view. Let's go to gold over here. Charts, scalper, gold. Get rid of this. Let's go to gold. Gold counter setup. Yeah, there was a beautiful setup, which I totally missed because I was yapping away. But yeah, there's a beautiful fucking setup. This was a huge buy, right? Nice clean buy. Buy. I need to steal that from Kramer. Buy. That's going to be our motto, because these are great instruments to buy until they give you sell signals, and then you can just sell with abandon. You took that. Good for you, Ben. Good for you. All right. You know what? Let's fucking go to wealth charts. I cannot. I'm so every fucking day. I'm annoyed with with my software shit because these assholes create, I mean, I love TradingView, but what a bunch of dickweeds they are for repressing the thing. So still waiting on wealth charts. Rob chewed me out for freaking changing the indicator 1,000 times, but he promised me he's going to get it. So when he does get it, it's going to be awesome. We're probably going to trade wealth charts exclusively once we get it because it's all going to be so easy. We're going to be able to put the range constraint on the wealth charts, which means that the signals are going to be just purely cleanly off the range. We'll get the counter signals, the trend signals, whatever. Right now, we kind of got to switch around. I think what we're going to probably do is we will. Now, hold on a second. You know what I need to do here? Just bear a second with me. I want to get rid of my settings here. I need to update my signals. March. And then I just want to delete this. I'll put gold on here. Okay. And then I want to apply, and I want to save this. Okay, fine. Because this way I could just switch really, really quickly from one to the other. Anyways, the upside of this is that we can actually watch the counter screens and the momentum screens. So we could take a few momentum trades also. So let me just do this. I'm going to set up momentum on this window. So we're going to go to NQ scalp. This is momentum setup. Right? Hold on. Is this right? NQJH scalp. Oh, why is it both ways? I don't want to show both ways. I want to show range requirement. No, just trend only. Okay, so this is going to just show me scalp ideas, and I want to save that as NQ scalp. Okay, awesome. Yes, and then we're going to do same thing, split view with gold. So we can actually look from both scalp and counter trend perspective of where the money is. GC trend. Okay, awesome. I think this should be good. All right. So and then we'll switch over to wealth charts to actually place the trades if they set up. So here's a key question. If I get a neon sign in gold, right? Fresh session highs 45001. Do I want to trade gold? The answer is yes. I want to go into my gold. I want to make sure my settings are correct. Here I got to trade 1030. That's exactly right. Let's trade that because I can't trade anything more because I'm looking for just a small amount of scalp to the upside with a big amount of stop for retrace risk. And over here, I'm looking for a neon red sign in Nasdaq to see if we can trade that. Nasdaq we're not going to touch because we got 5 minutes to go before the open, so there's nothing to do here. But anyways, let's watch gold. If gold breaks out, gives me a neon green, we will trade that. We'll trade that in wealth charts. You guys will be able to see the trade. People are saying to me in indicator settings, the first order of business you need to do is make sure you're on F6. If you're not on F6, if it's not saying F6, because F6 has 90% of the settings preset for you, right? Especially on the momentum side. You should be able to see the neons. You should be able to see all that stuff. It's right there and there. And then I will give you the settings. I'm going to do just a settings PDF. Like actually, that's what I'm going to do. I think we're just going to do a PDF that says, okay, I want to do counter settings in gold. I want to do counter settings in Nasdaq. I want to do trend settings in Nasdaq. I want to do trend settings in this. I want to do range suppression or no range suppression settings. And I'll show you how each one of those charts should look like. All right. So would that help? Would that be helpful? So still no neon red, and I can't trade NAS because it's just before the 9:30. Even if this goes neon red, we can't really trade this. Can I do that in a table? Yeah, that's the problem is I can't tabularize these settings. I have to actually show you what these settings are. Maybe you know what I can do is I could just take a screenshot of this and put them into one single wide screenshot. That would be useful, right? We can just do top line and then just label what each one of these things is, and you can that might be really useful. I think we'll try to do that. Because me telling you how to do it versus me it's a million times better for me to show you what switches need to be turned on, turned off, than me telling you, right? I am like everybody else. If you show me, I'll learn it in a minute. If you tell me, it'll take me a year. Can you trade Ninja Trader through TradingView? No. You can trade Tradeovate through TradingView, which is what we're doing right now. Tradeovate is owned by Ninja Trader. Why the fuck are you trading Ninja Trader? God, is the world, you know, it's like driving a Soviet era tank. Okay, so we're gonna do this in the eval because this is we're gonna go to MNQ in my eval, and I'm gonna set up my settings to, because this is bullshit. We're gonna set it for 4080. Oops, 80. On this, this is before the market open. Really, really stupid for me to do this, but that's why I'm doing it in my eval. But just to show you, this is going to be a neon red label. It goes away. The dot goes away. All right, no trade, no trade, no trade, no trade. I was just kind of showing you. I thought it was going to get a neon red label, but no trade. Anyways, we're gonna trade my wealth charts eval, because if I'm gonna butcher stuff, I'd rather butcher it in the eval. And then on Monday, I'll have everything set up properly so the fucking Tradeovate works, and you can actually see my trades instead of me telling you my trades. But you know, whether you see them or me telling you, it doesn't matter. The key thing is you understand the structure. 360 is just another name for pass the prop. It's the exact same thing. You buying 360, you're buying past the prop. It's because Kathy made me change the name 1,000 fucking times. You can blame her. All you're doing when you're buying 360 is you're buying past the prop, plus a whole bunch of Kathy stuff as well. Okay, so there's no difference. You get the same value. Sorry for the confusion. That was a really fun trading on her part today, huh? It's, you know, usually I'm always the one like screaming and yelling at the screens. It was really fun to watch her trade. All right, we're coming off the highs. Interesting. Gold rejecting the highs. Okay, we're gonna watch this. 51 seconds. So I'm gonna switch to wealth charts. And if this red candle stays in place, I really need to actually, honestly, guys, I need to make this it's got to be a big. We're gonna try 8160. Okay, on this 160 move. 31 seconds left. We'll see how this plays out. This is a big ass candle. If I'm trading momentum, I gotta give it room to run. 18, 19 seconds left. 10, 11 seconds left. See, it's retracing back up. So we got to hang with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, short here. Let's see if this is going to do our thing here. I got to put my glasses on. See, look at the volatility. Look at the vol. Come on, baby. Come on. Hit me. Flatten. I'm going to just flatten out. So I just flattened out on this because I wasn't going to wait for the thing to retrace back out. And this is the trade. Now, this is the trade. This is why we like fucking wealth charts, because it doesn't dick around with me. So it actually probably is going to hit the plus 20, but we took like, you know, whatever, plus 12 out of this trade nicely. So this was the trade. This was just a pure momentum, you know, neon red trade. Now, here we go. Here comes the fun part. Gold, right? Is gold going to give me? Oh, this is the gold. Shit. This is the gold momentum. I should have bought the gold. Gold is actually a buy. Do I have I have to switch to gold. So we switch to gold. I'm going to buy this. This is too big. I'm using targets for Nasdaq. I just don't have a time to set this up. So 99. I want to put myself to 95. I'm probably going to get screwed on this because gold is really turning around. Yeah, I'm going to get stopped out on gold. Doesn't matter. I got stopped out on gold because this pop just did not happen. This buy to dip trade. The buy to dip trade was really over here at the 502s, which I missed. Now it's actually, remember I said to you, it's starting to turn into a negative trend trade. So we're going to flip around. We're actually going to sell gold the other way. See if we can. Do I have time to change my settings to 2040? All right. So, and I'll adjust my setting. So now I'm trading 2040 on a continuity basis, and let's see if I can make this trade. Where am I? Where am I? What was my entry here? 92, so it's like 96. I'm going to retrace myself out probably on gold. Let's see. We'll give myself some time here. So this was a second neon trade. The idea is that maybe this is the start of a reversal move. Again, gold is just notorious for retracing, so I'm giving myself a little bit of breathing room here. But we'll see if it comes back, if it goes down a little bit further. Now let me go look at Nasdaq. Okay, let's see if Nasdaq has a. Nope, Nasdaq has no counter trend signals. Gold popping against me. Gold actually was neither continuity nor a buy. It would have been a buy over here. That was the one buy. It's the first sell signal. The second, I should have probably. I guess maybe this was the beginning. Whatever. Gold just didn't work. That's fine. Let's see what happens on the continuity side here. Nothing, and on the reversal side, nothing either. So no signals for now. We'll just wait patiently and play ourselves out. Okay, we're clean on this, right? Okay, good. Look at that vol in gold. It's such a tough thing to trade on gold. Yeah, I'm a little bit, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball because I want to trade off TradingView because of the signals, but I have to trade off WellTrust to mark the trades. So, I was a step behind here on gold. The trade in gold should have been this sell down or this buy up, and I kind of was late on both sides. All right, so this is my counter. Let's watch Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, if Nasdaq gives me a green neon label, that could be an interesting trade possibility, but it's not. We still have. Well, here it goes. Here it goes. Nasdaq give me a green neon label. So 42 seconds left. Let's go back to here. Go to Nasdaq and set our settings to 80. All right, 22 seconds left. Five minutes into the open. All right, long this thing. Let's see if Nasdaq. This is, you need a lot of retrace on this because it could easily come back down. But let's give it a shot. We're going to see if it has any continuity on the reversal here. Boom, and we're done. That was a nice, see, reversal back to, this is the reversal back to trend, right? When I said when we get the neon label, we want to trade that. And the neon label, you know, does us right. Trades us well. So all good on that. Look at that move. Holy shit, what a move. I told you, just a big power move. I felt Nasdaq was going to be positive trend today. Let's see if it recovers trend and wants to go higher. We'll give it a shot. Gold is challenging. Gold is challenging session highs. This is the trade we love. Fresh session highs with a neon red, neon green. So we're going to go gold, and we are going to. Well, we need the dot. We don't have the dot. Gold is not. Let me see what gold is doing. Gold is backing off the. Gold is really being very coy here. It just can't seem to break that 505. Anyways, we can watch this because if we get the dot, that'll be a good trade. If we don't, oops, sorry. Let me set up the settings here. Gold is going to be really like a 10. It's really a 10:30 trade. Let's see if this is going to work. No signal. No signal, does not hold the highs. Gold wimps out. And we got nothing going here. Okay, so back to reality. Watching all of this. All right, let's see what Nasdaq wants to do. Whether this is, you know, it's going to consolidate here probably a little bit. So we will we'll watch it carefully. The way I like to take it, by the way, is only the first reversal trade per trend slice. So this is the first trade. That's the juiciest, highest probability. You can do the same thing here, sort of like the first reversal trade the other way. Kind of a juiciest, you know, highest probability over here, which is really cool. And you know, that's what works. All right, gold trying to mount yet another challenge back up to the highs. I don't, depending on what SCOTUS does and everything else, it's not unreasonable to think we go to 26,000 on NAS today before the end of the day, which would be really interesting. All right, let's go back to 33, 34 seconds. Back to the neon, but can't hold it. At around 10 seconds, I'll switch over to wealth charts, and we'll see if we can trade it there. Does my system work for silver? I'm sure it does. If it works for gold, it works for silver. I just don't, you know, we just don't have the bandwidth to trade everything. 13, 14 seconds. Gold really whipping out at this 505 level, right? Holy shit, it just does not want to hold it. Really, really interesting. Okay, let's go back to contrarian view. So again, if gold dips, I want to be a buyer here. If gold rips, I want to be a buyer here. But gold is doing nothing. NAS is, you know, made a nice big V shape. If we consolidate, kind of stay steady, and then start running both the New York session highs and then the Asia session high and the European session highs, it's going to be should be very bullish for the momentum trade. And then if it starts to retrace or come back correct, we're going to try and buy the dips in Nasdaq. That's the game plan as we go forward. Let's see if any of this works. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. We're just 15 minutes into the market open, trying to see where where everybody wants to take things today. Gold really hitting a cement ceiling at this 4,500 level. And actually starting to look kind of negative to me. Well, we'll see. If we can't break it, I actually will sell it down. Okay, this is the momentum one. This is the contrarian. This is the counter one. Neither one has any signals right now. This is the momentum one. You know what? I'm going to make it easy for you guys. I'm going to just put momentum. This is momentum settings. And this is, no, this is counter. What is this? This is counter. This is counter. Oh, maybe because I put this on, I can't do it. Okay, never mind. Oh, here we go. This is counter. Okay, here it is. A moment of truth here on gold. Gold, we're gonna step into the lines then here. Try to buy this dip. Where's my gold? Micro gold. I'm gonna buy it 2040. Oops. Because this is the first sell. Now gold could correct, so who knows? But I'm going to make the bet that this is the first sell-off in gold. 20 seconds, 19 seconds left. I'm going to be a buyer on this on the close of the candle to see if I get the pop. 12, 11, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm long here. Let's see if I get. Nope, I get continuity. I don't get the retrace. But let's give it a moment. Let's see if it has any chance to pop itself back up. So we're trading this contrarian trade here, the first sell in an uptrend, seeing if we get a little bit of a pop in gold, and I may just come back down a little bit here just because it was really kind of weak on the trade. It looks like gold has just died. It really isn't. It couldn't hold the 505s, and now they're going to put it into a sell-off mode. So I'm going to give it a second here. Come on, baby, come on. Do me right. Do me right. Come on. Jesus Christ. Ah, fuck. Look how close it is to coming up. I probably should have just simply blown out of this trade because I had very little confidence in this trade. Yeah, it's not working. Well, let's see. Come on. Nope, it's going down. They're really trying to sell it hard now, and I don't think this buy the dip in this gold move after several buy the dips that worked. I don't know if this is going to work for us. Come on. It's a real big battle here. Yeah, so it should really bounce off the first one. And if there's no buyers right now, you know what? We're just going to close this out. I'm going to flatten myself out. Okay. This trade definitely not working. And it looks like Look at this. I was impatient as always. Maybe it will work. Now we'll watch it. We'll see. Because now it feels like, they triple topped here on gold. And if it gives me a neon sign here, neon red, I'm going to short it the other way around. All right, starting to really come down a little bit. Yeah, really, really starting to sell off. So there was 1, 2, 3 buys, and the fourth one was not the charm. And that was the other thing I was going to say. You really want to try and do maybe 2 or 3 buys on a dip, and then after that, you want to give the trend a pause. Nasdaq is battling back up to positive trend. That's really interesting, and that's good for us. We'll see if we can make that trade. Watching this. Okay, I'm going to sell this. Sell market. Let's see if I'm right that this might be a continuity trade to the downside. Jesus Christ. God, man, I hate gold. It didn't give me a sign. This is why I hate trading this without the thing. I got to flatten out. Not a signal. Not a signal. Because it did not. Oh no, it did. What happened here? It did give a signal and then it went away. What happened here to my signal? All right, it doesn't matter. The signal didn't work. It's weird. Okay, you know what? I'm back in. Sorry, guys. It's so hard for me to switch from the screens. But this was a legit downside signal, so we should hopefully. Let's watch this. I'm going to watch this on this. I'm just going to ignore the Welcher. No, why is this? Oh, what's going on over here? Oh, because I know what it was. I have 2 different configurations. I have the counter configuration, which just gave me the signal, and the momentum one, which didn't. That's why I got confused. This is correct. I was in the right signal. Okay, now it's hopefully going to make bank. There we go. We finally made bank. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a hard time reading it because I'm working off of a momentum and a configuration screen. Again, once wealth charts comes in to have all this functionality on the screen, it'll be a lot easier for us. But switching around over here obviously makes it a lot harder. Anyways, my thesis, my execution sucked, but my thesis was correct. So we tried to buy the dip. This was the 4th dip in a row. 4th dip is pretty much toxic. You only want to buy the first 3 dips of whatever trend you want to work with. And then obviously, that failed, legitimately failed. And then we sold the reversal here. We sold the reversal. The first neon trade here was a good trade. We sold that now. Gold is not a triple bottom. There's no triple bottom yet. Gold could unwind pretty hard here. So I'm keeping my eye on here. I think gold can be a still a reversal trade. It might find support here at the 200, which is 84. But if I'm looking here, I'm going to try to sell this again just for shits and giggles. All right, sold again. See if I can get a little bit more continuity here. Maybe not. We'll see. This is not a. This is the do as I say not as I do trade. I'm just, I'm just trading momentum with you guys because I really only want to take the first one, the best juice trade. This could retrace up my ass, but I'm giving it a shot on the idea that gold is reversing a little bit, but it is in front of the 200, so it could easily hold bid here, and I could get stopped out. I'm trading the small eval. Oh, I got clipped on the eval, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I got clipped a little bit here on the second follow-on trade because I got a little bit greedy. Fine. Not gonna cry about it. Okay, so gold seems to have found the bottom over here, which is good. Nasdaq is maintaining its negative bid. This is interesting. So, okay, so I missed a buy over here in Nasdaq, right? I believe. Let me go to. Nope, I didn't miss a buy here. I'm in the contrarian mode. Oh, I know what I did. I know, sorry. Okay. I'm gonna buy Nasdaq here. And it got done very, very fast. I'm sorry for confusing you a little bit here, but again, my configuration here should be. I made a mistake here. I'm sorry. Label display mode all. Why is this? Why isn't it showing me? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. In order to get this properly done, so this is what I was trying to figure out on the labels. You actually have to have both labels on the charts, and you want to be in order to see the buy to dip strategy. You need to have the A1s. I knew there was an A1 here. There was a buy. Both of these were excellent buys against the first sell off into Nasdaq. So this goes back to my whole idea of like, let's buy the dips in Nasdaq. Let's buy the dips in gold. The buys and dips in Nasdaq obviously worked much better. And we're buying the dips on the first signal, which is over here. This is actually the second signal, so I shouldn't have even bought this dip. It's the first cross over here. I should have bought this dip. That was the one trade that worked really well. I got lucky on this one that kind of pop itself back up, but it's fine. Meantime, gold is now doing a momentum climb, and if you want to trade the momentum climb, we can buy the gold. And see if we can get a little bit more momentum move. I'm late on buying it, but let's see if it still works. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking for 2 points, and it's 1, 6. It's good enough to take some of it back. So I'm sort of I'm trading momentum just to show you that you could obviously trade momentum in gold, and I'm trading counter momentum to all I'm trying to do is just make the best buy trades in both instruments, because I'm basically assuming that they're both long only trades for most of the time. The only time I want to sell them is when they turn negative in an uptrend, when they turn negative early. If they start printing neon labels in an uptrend, neon reds in an uptrend, I'll sell those as an early indication of my stuff. And I'm actually thinking that in order to make it easy, I'm going to have let me put all labels on both sides, because you can't have, when you have the configuration this way, you can't quite see everything. And I know it's going to have a lot of labels, but it's worth it just to be able to see all the signals. You just have to learn how to read them. Let me go this way. Let me go to all labels. This way I don't have to switch around. You know, like it's great for me to do the thesis, but the execution is always sloppy as fuck whenever I start doing this stuff, because you guys know I have the idea. The idea is awesome, but then you have to really, really refine the actual execution of the chart to make it worthwhile. So bottom line is, we got to learn how to read the chart with all the signals on it, and just to understand which one is a buy the dip story, which one is buy the rip story, and just decide to practice whichever one we want. So in this particular case, we're positive gold. These are all positive breakout strategies. We just bought the breakout move. Here we try to buy the dip in gold. That didn't work. And then we sold the first continuity move in gold, which is that's really what we should have been doing. Now with Nasdaq, we had a reversal trade, which we could have bought over here, which was a good trade on a reversal move, and then we bought the dip, the first dip against the trend, and now it's just flat. Now we got nothing going on over here. Well, great. Will gold break 4,500? It doesn't seem to want to die, right? Does not seem to want to die. We'll see. If gold breaks 4,500, we certainly want to join. We want to join any move where the session high is broken. That's always a really good momentum trade. Really, always a good momentum trade. Anyways, for all my fuck ups today, we're actually not that bad on the account, because I was able to recover a lot of the losses once I reapplied myself. But a huge part of my confusion here was running two charts, then running well charts, then running this, and forgetting where the signals are. But once you understand where the signals are and what the functionality of each signal is, like, am I trading momentum? Am I trading value? Like right now, if you look at Nasdaq chart, just kind of show you, Nasdaq is still negative trend, but showing a neon green. A neon green and negative trend, the first neon green negative trend, is a reversal signal. It's a legit signal to want to get long. So if this thing stays as is, if we stay on a dot, so we can go to well charts, and if the dot stays on Nasdaq, right? And let me just get rid of all the it's the other cool thing here. I can toggle this off. Let's go to Nasdaq, and let me see if I'm set up here for Nasdaq. That should be 8160. If Nasdaq stays with a dot, that's a trade we want to take, because that's the first reversal trade, strong reversal trade. Like over here is, where am I here? Yeah, but it doesn't. Nasdaq is 11-12 seconds. I'm gonna wait patiently. If I get a neon sign, I'll go. If I don't get a neon sign, I'll go. 1, 2. I got the neon sign, and I'm long Nasdaq. You see, it's going like 10, 11, 12 points in my direction. I'm gonna just flatten out. I'm just gonna flatten out on this, because and it goes my way, totally my way. I'm kind of I'm taking my trades early, because it's so hard for me to work off of two screens. But you get the idea. I mean, I narrated the whole idea for why I was buying it. This was a reversal signal in this thing. It moved up 10 o'clock. Oh, we have news. Is the SCOTUS? What's going on with the SCOTUS thing? Did the SCOTUS come out? Michigan consumer 54. Yeah. That's all. I mean, it's all function of this, but SCOTUS has not come out yet, right? Let's see. I can't tell what's going on over here. Nope. So may rule, but sets deadline. U.S. Customs says deadline for refunds. Nothing here so far on Supreme Court. So nothing going on over here. Okay, no signals. So we just let just a little bit of volatility. Gold kind of rallying back up. Not taking this trade. Oh no, actually I probably should. I'm sorry guys. I'm watching this. I didn't realize that there was a trend change over here. This actually is not a bad signal. This, if you guys are taking this signal, it's not horrible. Where you're in at 50 and you'd be looking for like 60 or 70 as your target here. It's not horrible. It's not a bad trade for a reversal trade. But very, very, it's like really choppy now. I think the problem is there's so much uncertainty as to when this thing drops from the Supreme Court that it may be worthwhile for us to just not do anything for the next 10, 15 minutes to see if SCOTUS drops something. I think just right now it's all, it's just all as clear as mud. By the way, if you're on my Twitter feed, I made the cardinal mistake of arguing politics on Twitter with an idiot, and I'm really, really sorry. So I mean, this moron posts, "A thief never becomes an owner," to which I'm going to respond, "Then get the fuck out of America," to her. I despise. I want to tell you this right now. I don't give a shit what your opinion is, but if you think that Jews don't deserve a country while everybody else does, fuck you, 110 million%. So that's my attitude to that. Anyways, back to trading. Supreme Court is why the gold is moving. It's really hard to tell. I think everything is very choppy because, thank you, Neil. Everything is choppy because, everybody's on pins and needles. So like the problem is when you're sort of holding against news flow, right? Every one of these signals can be a false signal. It's like a booby trap. Like it can reverse in a second. We could take them in a sense that we could say, okay, maybe for the next 5 minutes the signal is good. But to me right now, it's hard to make an intelligent decision because you're always trading. When you're trading against a news event, all technicals get thrown out the window, right? Cardinal rule number 1: fundamentals can completely upend technicals until they're absorbed, and then once they're absorbed, trading goes back to technical considerations, right? That's kind of how it always works, and I think that's what people always miss. It's not that like one or the other governs the market; it's just that one or the other governs the market at a certain time. You need to understand the difference. So like right now, it's just not worth trading because me and everybody else is just waiting for the bomb to drop. Is that a statement, or is that news flow? Did that break on the news? News on financial juice. Okay, let's look at financial juice. Let's see where we're at. Where's my financial juice? Where? Oh, reading. The U.S. Supreme Court will not rule on Trump tariffs case today. Okay, so a little bit of relief, and we're kind of dropping. Oh shit, man, we're dropping hard. Okay, no signals for me right now because the point is I'm really not going to trade momentum to the downside. We're going to watch this. If we take out the New York session lows here, if I get a neon red on this, we'll sell that. Until then, this is just knee-jerk reaction, right? So let's chill out, see what it wants to do. There was a great buy on gold here, right? If we wanted to, but it was just too risky. Also, really, it's all just choppy. Let's give it a set. Let's give it a minute to settle in. Okay, fresh lows. Jesus Christ, really blowing through. We're gonna trade Nasdaq. They don't like this. Market just does not like this. 18 seconds left. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna wait till the candle closes because we want to make sure that we get the good price. 11, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, short here. Let's see if this is a good fill. This gives me a chance to get down a little bit. Let's see if I get some continuity. This is basically a continuity off the session lows. Oh, they're buying a dip. They're buying the session lows. Okay. Nope. A lot of vol in this, as always. Let me look at how this looks on here. So we bought the session lows. What's my stop on this thing? It's at 77. So we can just watch this over here. Oh, did it go through my stop? No, 677. Right? So why? Oh, it's with 64. Yeah, we're challenging the highs of that candle. So it looks like they sold it hard. It was a knee-jerk reaction to the news, and it's popping back up. Yeah. Nope. So that was it. That was just a knee-jerk reaction. Not a lot of continuity. I did not get the good fill. Now we have to wait for the next setup. Gold is touching that 4,500 and now reversing back down. Okay. So here comes a moment of truth on gold here. Do we buy this dip? Let's go back to gold. All right, I'm long this dip. Let's see if Boom. The dip works, right? That was a nice clean trade. Here you go. You can see it right over here. Boom, boom on the charts. So the dip trade works. Like that's that's the money trade. The momentum trade a lot harder to do. That's kind of what I wanted to sort of show you. I wanted to show you that I sort of I'm going to do both of these because I want to show you both techniques. But you can see why momentum is momentum is just a retrace demon a lot of times. Doesn't mean that the dip trade always works, but the dip trade works many times, especially on a risk reward ratio. Like if you look at this, the only problem is even here, if you bought threes, I mean this thing just it's just so fucking volatile. You wouldn't have been able to hold the fours. But that was just really right post news. But here the dip worked really nicely. All right, here's the reversal trade in NAS. And NAS wants to run reversal, so we'll try to run reversal with NAS. Let's do this. And we got to reset our targets back to 80, 160. Let's see if it holds the bid here. It's got to hold the dot. It does. It sort of does. Let's see if this climbs back up. So I'll show it to you over here. This is the reversal trade in NAS. We're still underneath the big trend, but we're trying to reach out into the 40s over here. Let's see where it wants to go. Did it hit me? It hit me. It hit me. Boom. It hit me again. So you see, reversal, dipping, basically buy only bias. The buy only bias. Really working. Really kind of working well. Anybody taking these trades with me, guys? Anybody taking these? Anybody took the Nasdaq trade or anything else? Good job, clean sober. All right, nice job. Good job. Astrologer, Neil, Judith, nice. And Q to the highs? I think so. I mean, I told you, I thought that the data is positive today. And in the grander scheme, look, guys, in the grander scheme of things, the economy is doing well. And I think Trump's going to do everything in his power to make sure that it looks strong into the midterms. I mean, we'll see if he can hold on to it. But it's not even in Trump's power. I actually think that every idiot that I see on TV reminds me of every single idiot that I saw on TV in the year 2000 who said that the internet is no better than a fax machine, okay? You got to understand that most people who are pundits are fucking morons who live in the last generation and cannot in any way, shape, or form imagine a future that is so far superior to their current life that they constantly project idiotic models from their past history. Having worked with AI every single day, I think most of you guys are doing it, and I only use 1/10 of 1% of its value. You cannot imagine the shit that's coming down the road in terms of functionality, okay? And when that happens, the economy is going to boom like you've never seen before. And I think that's all, completely unpriced in terms of the future economy. So yeah, I think I'm generally pretty bullish, and I think you're seeing a lot of that happening right now. Oh, okay. So I have a funny story to tell you. All right. While we're watching everything right now, we're watching for the Nasdaq to turn positive trend. See whatever gold is doing over here. Kind of stalled, I guess, a little bit. This is a typical 10 o'clock stall. So I have a very funny story to tell you guys before we go out today. So my daughter, who is in 8th grade, goes to this unbelievably very, very liberal, progressive New York City public school. It's like all the kids, she goes to this middle school, all the kids are in the same class, except for math and science. The 8th graders are in the same classes as the 5th graders. And you may think that's kind of crazy, but it actually works really well on all the other subjects. It actually works really well as a pedagogic exercise, because what they do is they make the 8th graders help and tutor the 5th graders. So one of the things that the school does not have at all, like literally zero, is any bullying. It's a really, really interesting, innovative pedagogic technique. But you can imagine, this is as blue state progressive as you can possibly fucking imagine. I remember we went, like, when these kids were little, we went to like the parent, what your parents does for work day, and we asked these kids, all these same kids, they've been going through the same school forever. We asked them, what's their favorite food? These kids were 5 years old when I asked them this, and you know what they said? You can tell these are New York City kids. They said their favorite food was sushi by far, right? And so the point being is, they had a social studies class, and in the social studies class, they were told that they're going to govern New York. They had the responsibility for the New York City budget, and it was 10 units of budget, right? They had 10 units of budget that they could spend. And how do you think these progressive kids allocated the budget? Let me just tell you. 6 units of the budget was set aside for defense and police work, right? 4 units of the budget was for defense and police work. 3 units was for medical and healthcare. 1.5 was for tourism, and I forgot what the other 1.5 was. 1.5 was for like food and welfare costs, right? And I did not prompt her this. She just told me this to me, volunteered this to me. And I thought it was such a fascinating, story. These are 8th graders, right? All of them voluntarily deciding how they would want to, budget. You can tell that 8th graders themselves have more common sense of their parents in how you want to budget, create a budget in terms of running a real government. And I just thought it was hilarious that the greatest allocation was for essentially defense, police work, and protection of the city, which take it without comment. But I thought it was interesting. Yeah, and this is in the most progressive sort of place. They didn't want war. That's exactly why here's English. If you're intelligent, you put four units of your budget to defense precisely so you don't have war. Because if you don't have that, anybody can attack you and kill you. That's the number one lesson of life. If you've lived anywhere else but in a pampered liberal environment where you get to benefit from the freedom that we all guarantee you, okay? That's what people don't understand. You think freedom comes free? Live in Russia like I did. Live in the Soviet Union. Live in any oppressive society. Freedom comes at the cost of defense, okay? If you think the world is just going to lay down and say, oh, I love you, let's all be friends. Let me take you to Gaza. Let me take you to Iran. Let's see how long you last. By the way, thank God, hopefully Iran may turn itself around. We are bopping through gold. So gold here, let's take a look. If gold gives me, why is gold not giving me a, what's going on with gold? Why am I not seeing the, okay, we're gonna buy this. Why is this not giving me a signal? Oh, here it is. I'm on the wrong thing. So gold. Sorry, I missed the session highs on gold. Session highs on Nasdaq. Let's go Nasdaq. Fuck it. Let's go Nasdaq. Session highs on Nasdaq. We're in Nasdaq. 20 seconds left. Let's see if we're going to make this trade here. 18. This is a big, big candle. Big, big, big breakout candle, but worth it. Let's see. 12 seconds, 11 seconds. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Boom. Long this. Let's see if we can get a little bit of an extension here. There's a huge, huge big breakout candle to the highs. Gold is also breaking. We should have also gone gold, but I chose Nasdaq. Gold would have totally worked if you guys took the gold trade. Here's the gold trade. I'm just, I took the Nasdaq trade because it was simplest. And again, hopefully by early next week, I'll have everything set up on well charts so we can just simply trade, point and click and trade, and I can trade both products at the same time. But yeah, I just, if I took gold, that would have already been done. Nasdaq, where, I'm still struggling with these highs, this 800 highs. Let's see if it can go a little bit higher. Gold really blowing through that 45. Look at that. Gold is the trade, man. Gold should have been the trade. I'm sorry I chose the wrong instrument for you guys, but hopefully you guys took the gold too. Bottom line is, the signals are excellent in both. It's just a matter of choosing the trade. What's the high on this? 14. Yeah, when I get the layout, I will save this. You're right. I will save this. As I said, unfortunately though, like in trading view, you can't get, like, if you want the layout, you have to have all the signals on there. Let me see where we're going. I thought I got done. I got all excited. Okay, good job. Good job. We got done on Nasdaq. Nasdaq took out. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So sorry, we could have done gold. When I have the whole thing done, I'll have both gold. I'll have two charts, inside there, so we can trade one setup for Nasdaq, one setup for gold, instant button push. But right now, I'm doing the best I can with the tools that I have. Bottom line is, you guys have all the tools at your fingertips to fucking kill it, and you guys are killing it. Sabers just did 1,000 in gold. Somebody else did really, really well. I'm very, very glad. I'm very glad you guys are doing well. Everybody who's listening to me, who's on Twitter and everywhere else, we do this every single day. I want you back with me 9 o'clock Monday morning next week, and then every day after that, because I'm going to show you how this setup is designed to make consistent profits for all the prop accounts. Okay. The only thing I can't promise you really clean charts, because I realize that in order to be able to read all of this, we kind of need to have all the signals, but you have to just visually filter out what is not viable. And actually, hang on a second. Let me try one thing. Let me see if I can do this. I wonder if this is gonna, no. Huh. Yeah, see, the problem is if I filter this out, because this, it doesn't give me the session I am. There's no way to do this. We're just gonna have to read the signals for for the clean move. Especially if you want to trade momentum and value, momentum and counter trades over there. Here, let me do this over here. Let me just actually do the same thing over here. I want to show all, and I want to show all, both in here. Just read all the signals here. The reason why is because gold is now coming down for this A1 red, right? And it's not there yet. Look at Nas. Look at Nas taking out the highs. The session high with a neon green or a session low with a neon red really works very well. This, over here we got stuffed on the news, but that was a news spike. But otherwise, I told you, when we went to fresh highs. I said there's a reasonable chance we go to 26,000. There's a reasonable chance we go to 26,000 here. It's really, really possible. You're very welcome. I'm so glad you killed it today. Good job. Good job. Anyways, I hope all of you guys come join us every single day. Who wants to ask me anything Friday? Last questions of the session. Anything on your mind? Come hit me. Let me know what you want to talk about. I'm open to questions. I'm just watching to see if I can buy gold here on an A1 dip. If it shows up, Nasdaq is just run through every single target we had. Yeah, it would, and my apologies. As part of it is just me being all over the place because of the chart settings. But again, the thing that I don't care about, we lose some, win some today. What I really, really love is that we have the structure, the really, really good structure to do well, right? Gold is just fucking blazing, baby, blazing, right? Look at this shit. 520. Everybody bought risk. Really interesting. It was really interesting. I almost feel like it was a market maker setup, right? News comes out, market makers just flush it down to scare the longs, and they just rip it the fuck up. I feel like they had long inventory. They just wanted to bring the market down. It looked like such a manipulated move to the downside, right? This move over here. Fortunately, we're always, we've been on the buy side, and it really worked. Which platform do I prefer to trade on? I like, trading view TradeAvate. It's fine, but I really, once Wealth Charts comes out with my indicator, that's going to be my dominant platform. We're going to trade that. I'm just waiting for the indicator to get updated. Because it's fully integrated. It's really, really nice. But what I really, really like is I like this whole side-by-side view in Chrome now, which makes it easy for us to cover both gold and Nasdaq at the same time. What a rip today. So much fun. A really, really good day for everybody. I'm glad you guys are trading well. Yes, Stacy, I'm going to try to work on that PDF for you guys on all the settings, the proper settings on this. As I said, though, the problem is that to really get the signals, you almost have to have all the settings enabled and then be able to just dismiss, filter out the signals. I'll create a couple of variations on the theme, so you can actually see what it's supposed to do, and then how they're going to look. Okay. Looks like we're still ripping up. I don't have any dip trades to make. By the way, you know, an A1 dip trade in Nasdaq, an A1 dip trade in gold, both of those are going to be buys for me if they show up on the screen. But I got to run. Thank you guys so much for everything. Really, really good session today. I see everybody on Monday. Look at this. Wow, unbelievable. You gotta love the 8-9 neons to the upside. Really, really looks strong. Okay, guys, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I see everybody on Monday. Take care. Take care, guys.